I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt Twin Studio, and welcome back to another video. There's another paid request, this time from Chad. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, feel free to send them either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for the Jet Li film, Black Mask. Now this is a film I think I saw around when it came out on DVD, but I'm not for certain. It might have been one of those films I was curious about, or I rented one time, I flipped through it. I think it was also one of those times where, okay, it's a Jet Li film, I was familiar with him because at that time, when I saw the DVD, I had seen some of Jet Li's flicks. I love Kiss of the Dragon. It's my favorite Jet Li film. I liked Fist of Legend. I like, for what it is, Romeo Must Die, Cradle to the Grave. He was in Lethal Weapon 4. And so, when I saw the film, and it wasn't Jet Li's voice, because even the Cantonese version doesn't sound like Jet Li. I mean, maybe that is his voice, but didn't seem like the right tone. Maybe I'm wrong in that. I could absolutely be wrong. But the English dubbing wasn't his voice, and I know that's a dumb thing to complain about, but I would prefer if it was his actual voice for the English dub. And yeah, I know that's stupid to complain about. It's kind of like with Jackie Chan when I watch Police Story 1 and... when I see the Police Story 1 and 2, I wish there was a version, an English dub version, where it was Jackie's voice. Or I wish they would maybe, hey Jackie, can you come in and do your voice for these Police Story dubs? Which I'm surprised that never happened, because he did it for Super Cop, he did it for Rumble in the Bronx. You would think for Police Story 1 and 2, to his more famous films, I guess opportunity never came up, or whatever. Although technically, those were done when they were re-released in the theaters by either Dimension Films or some other company. Anyway, I'm going off track. I just saying, when I heard that back in the day, I went, oh, okay, and maybe didn't give the film a fair shot. I know that's superficial. Had just a bug up my ass about it. So, watch it again, this time in the Cantonese version. Still don't know if that's Jet Li's voice or not. But it wasn't the Artisan version, because the Artisan version, when it came out in America, it was a shorter film, and it was, I believe it's more of a hip-hop rap soundtrack. And that's not the version I saw. The version I saw was about an hour and 39 minutes. And the score is much more... I still didn't care for the score. I mean, I don't know if the hip-hop soundtrack is better or worse, but the score is one of the issues I have with the film, because I think it's a rather weak score. At times, when Jet Li's character appears, it sounds like it wants to be music from James Bond. But no. I just don't think it fits. But overall, I know I'm like 4 or 5 minutes in. I didn't mind the film. I liked it for what it was. It's probably Jet Li's most violent film. It's sci-fi, fantasy, superhero, like comic book type of mixed in with a Jet Li martial arts choreographed by Yoon Woo Ping. And the plot is pretty basic. You've seen this stuff before. Jet Li was part of the Super Soldier Project. He broke away from it. He wants to live a simple life as a librarian. But then you have this girl who seems like a bit of a fucking gold digger, bit of a bitch. Just a gold digging bitch, it seems. And he's also friends with this cop. So the gold digger bitch that's like, oh, I don't know if I want to date him. He doesn't have any money. She got on my nerves at times with her kind of whiny voice. And I didn't mind the guy who played his cop, who was a friend of his. Anyway, someone is killing off Hong Kong's drug dealers. And then things are ratcheting up. And pretty much Jet Li finds out it was his former team who they don't feel pain as part of the procedure. And Jet Li from time to time will wear a mask, kind of like Kato from the Green Hornet, and go off and kick some ass. And it definitely is directed with a bit of style. Like I said, it's probably Jet Li's most violent film because he'll have these things that he throws, like big giant disc. It'll get into people's necks or in people's faces. There's a guy he fights and he slams them onto these rails and the guy gets impaled and the guy's like pulling himself off. There's gunfire, shootouts with blood squibs. At times the director has a tendency to do a little bit of a shaky cam, a little bit of MTV style, but for the most part, there's a couple of pretty decent set pieces, whether it be this set piece in a hospital where this bad guy has like a grenade launcher blowing up pieces of the hospital, shooting at the cops. There's even a point where the good guy cop has to get because the bad guy has his arm around him, he's got a bomb, and he gets off nick of time, blows up, and the arm is still attached, and the cop has to get it off of him. I mean, like I said, we've seen movies where you have the guy who used to be part of a team, he broke away to live a normal life, the team comes back for either him or some other thing. Broken Fist, also known as Broken Path, with Johnny Yong Bosch. That had a similar idea after this. Granted, much less stylish, much less comic booky. Although I would say I like that film more because that film is pretty much an 80-minute fight scene. One long 80-minute fight scene, and that's unique, and the fight scenes, action scenes are, I think, handled a lot better. Granted, it's all fisticuffs, it's not really gunfire or any of the sort, so there's more variety in this, but again, there's not a lot less shaky cam, a lot better, a lot less wire work as well, because there is some wire work here. I don't know, I guess in here I could deal with it a bit more because they're super soldiers. It's kind of like how I could deal with it a bit more in The Matrix compared to, say, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It's the way it's done, it's the way it's utilized with other pieces of action, and it also has the film has a certain look. Like, I don't know if it's bluish, but it has a certain cinematography that, again, gives a bit of a comic book flavor to it, which I didn't mind. So it was interesting to see Jet Li in this kind of film. And it doesn't go too long before an action scene kicks in, which is not too bad either. I mean, Jet Li's character, I mean, he's pretty, I mean, you could say typical, but it worked fine. The girl who maybe will be his love interest, I mean, she's a bit kooky, sometimes a bit annoying and whiny. One of the lines she says is, "I have AIDS, so don't rape me." I'm like, okay. But or there'll be times where, okay, she patches our hero up, and then in her spare time, she finds a fucking nail gun, and just starts firing it. Haha. And just is fucking giddy firing a nail gun. I'm like, was this girl's major malfunction? I don't know. But it does have some fun action scenes. In Machine Gun Fu, there's one girl, evil girl, who used to know and be friends with Jet Li's character. There's a part where some guy's attacking her, and she has a razor in her mouth, and she's able to release it and uses it on a guy. I found it funny that the main bad guy kind of looks like Ozzy Osbourne. I would say that's the best action scene in the movies at the end when those two fight. It's just fairly lengthy. This is after Jet Li's riding around on a motorcycle, shooting people in the tunnels. He's fighting a bad guy while these lasers mounted on the walls are firing at him. And then the main bad guy, again, the guy looks like Ozzy Osbourne, an Asian Ozzy Osbourne. He's shooting this gun and it's shooting like these big ripples. Almost like a mini version of the railgun in Eraser. If you remember Eraser with Arnold Schwarzenegger and how the again the bullets would fire and it had this ripple effect, kind of like a mini version of that. I'm like, okay, that's CGI, but that's interesting look to it. And it's a pretty lengthy fight where back and forth using electric cables against each other. There's a part where Jet Li kind of does a Van Damme where he does a split on the wall to avoid. He does a time cop. That's the way I put it. He does a time cop where Jet Li jumps on the wall and he puts his legs so he doesn't get electrified. Again, the plot is nothing that you will think is unique. Again, if you've seen even Universal Soldier or other, well, Universal Soldier doesn't really have the same plot, but just the super soldiers aspect. I don't know why it got so much darker as I started to do this review. So now, before I become completely in darkness, like I said, it was fun to see Jet Li in this type of film. If you want to see Jet Li in a bit of a violent comic book super soldier, it's not too bad. It's not too boring. It goes at a pretty decent pace. Like I said, the score, yeah, I don't know if the hip hop soundtrack is better, but the score in the Cantonese version sounds weak. The sound effects sound a bit weird too when they're doing the punches and kicks. They don't sound. They sound a bit whack. They sound a bit off to me. Again, I don't know if that's fixed in the Artisan version, but the sound effects, they have a weird ring to them. I don't know how to put it. The blocks and the punches and they don't sound right. But like I said, it was fun to see a bit more of a violent Jet Li movie. The action scenes, for the most part, with a bit of wire work, they're not too bad, not too shabby. The thing, you get some nice choreography. Like there's a part where Jet Li is showing the cop, "Hey, you can't come with me because you can't. If you can't defeat me, you're not going to be able to defeat these guys." And they're fighting in a cemetery. Just some decent choreography. But again, that's another example where the sound, like the punches and stuff, and when the can not enough hits happen, they sound a bit off. I don't know what it is. Also, spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1 spoilers. Before again, I really am going to be in complete darkness by the end of it. In spoilers, at the end of the film, the Ozzy Osbourne wannabe is talking about, oh, you're going to die of heart failure. And no matter if I win or lose or live or die, you don't die of heart failure. So then Jet Li defeats the bad guy, kills his ass, and then that's never brought up again. He's perfectly fine. I mean, so what happened to the whole heart failure thing? As he's taking a picture with this girl and the cop, and what happened to that whole heart failure that the bad guy brings it up, but then the movie forgets about it as if, that didn't exist, don't worry about it, don't worry about it, why'd you bring it up in the first place then? If you don't want me to worry about it, think about why'd you bring it up in the first place? I mean, the bad guy literally says, no matter whether I live or die now, you're going to die of heart failure. And then that never comes up again. It's like, well, just cut that out. Edit it out. But like I said, it was... Yeah, I would say this might be Jet Li's most violent film. That was it. I mean, I enjoyed it for those superficial reasons. To see Jet Li, see some of his choreography in his youth, a bit of more Yuen Woo Ping's work. It does have at least a bit of energy to it. I didn't find it boring. Even the look of the film, the cinematography has a stylized look to it. I just wish it had a better score, maybe a bit more unique plot twists, and better sound effects on the punches and kicks. Again, if the Artisan Entertainment, like the American version, has that, then disregard what I say. But again, for those who have that version, you need to let me know. But overall, yeah, didn't mind the film Black Mask. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.